Every great achievement begins with someone who is brave enough to take the first step. First-generation students open themselves to a new world of opportunities. Think about the people that have gotten where you are today, your parents, teachers, friends. Now imagine that you did that without any of them. That's how it is for many first-generation students. A lot of them come from immigrant and low-income backgrounds that creates barriers and challenges that impact their education and opportunities. I spent a lot of time over the last week researching and informing myself about this. Learning about the challenges that first-generation students face help us recognize the importance of equal education. If we understand and become more empathetic, it can help them break the cycle of inequality. Today I will talk about who first-generation students are, the challenge that they face, and the resilience that they show to get through. Now that we understand why this topic matters, let's get into who first-generation students are. Paraphrased from the Scholarship 360 website, Maria Geiger wrote, "For anyone who lived with and was supported by only one parent, if that parent did not receive a bachelor's degree, that child is considered first generation." This is the definition that is given by the government, but there are also a lot of definitions by each school. Some say that if a sibling didn't go, then the other sibling would be considered first generation, and then if grandparents went, but then your parents didn't go, you would also then be considered. Clearly there's a lot of definitions because there's even more than that, but the standard is if you were the first person in the family to get a degree, you were then first generation. Students can be first generation for many reasons. Some come from immigrant families and their parents didn't get a chance to go to school before they came here. Families that are affected by poverty, because schools just become so expensive, it's just not financially possible for many. Then also circumstances that have allowed parents to start school that end up not being able to finish their degree because they have reasons like work, family responsibilities, and more. Now that you understand who first-generation students are, we're going to talk about the challenges that they face. Written by Nicole Brunt and Stephanie M. Breen, the Pell Institute published, approximately 72% of students report experiencing moderate to severe psychological distress. These challenges are particularly pronounced in low-income and first-generation students who face the combined pressures of academic performance, financial strain, and family obligations. This highlights how intense the mental and emotional strain is placed on these students, and it's especially high for the first-gens and low-income students. Typically, they're juggling their academics, jobs, and families without the support that others have. With the combination of high expectations, financial stress, and limited guidance, it can lead to increased anxiety, stress, exhaustion, and isolation. Their struggles are not just academic related, they are also focusing on managing multiple roles while also building their futures. Published in an article by Academia NC, first-generation students were not raised with the institutional knowledge about how college works and continuing generation students that often absorb from their families. Many don't have parents that are able to explain how to register for classes, how to communicate with your professors, and how to apply for financial aid. As a result, they end up having to learn to do it all on their own, making this transition from high school to college an even more confusing and stressful time, adding on another layer of difficulty to an already very stressful time. Despite these obstacles that these students face, I'm now going to tell you about the resilience that they show despite them. Also published in an article by Academia NC, self-motivation and clarity of purpose are strong predictors of persistence through hard semesters. The challenge is that these assets need support structures to fully convert into outcomes. Even when they face financial strain and family responsibilities, their determination keeps them going and motivated. This quote shows that self-motivation and a sense of purpose are important traits that help us get through tough times. But the quote also reminds us that resilience is not enough and that they need support systems like mentoring programs and counseling to turn their academic drive into success. From the Sociological Forum, Eric Axe wrote, "Many first-generation students demonstrate resilience through two key forms of adaptation: capital conversion and strategic repositioning." This quote highlights how first-generation students don't only show resilience through perseverance, but also through adaptability. Capital conversion is turning a strength into academic success, like your social skills and work ethic, and strategic repositioning shows your ability to adjust when faced with obstacles, such as changing majors. These forms of adapting show that first-generation students aren't just going through the motions, they are also shaping their futures in the process. The resilience of first-generation students reminds us that success in college is not just about the opportunities that you receive. It's about having the courage to be able to adapt when it gets tough. Now that we have seen these students' struggles and resilience, let's reflect on what their experiences have taught us. First-generation students face unique challenges, but their determination and drive allow them to overcome obstacles and reach success. Today we talked about who first-generation students are, the difficulties they encounter, and the strength and adaptability that they face when they have these challenges. Every diploma is earned by a first-generation student is a symbol of hope and perseverance, the hope that barriers can be broken and education can be accessible for everyone.